What's up, folks? Quinnstorm here at the lovely Emos on Monday. Here with Mr. Greg Gillis, aka Girl Talk. How you doing?
What's up? I'm very good.
Doing all right.
Yeah, I'm relaxed.
Yesterday?
Yeah, it's been like the tour has only been a week and a half, but I play all year round, but typically with a lot of days off in between, like mostly weekend shows. So playing it every day gets kind of crazy for me.
I'm sure.
In a good way, crazy. But yeah, we had the day off yesterday, and it's been about a week and a half of shows. So I slept like 12 hours last night.
You take like a beating up there. I mean, it's some
Yeah,
full energy.
Yeah,
man.
it gets pretty. It can go various ways. You know, some
And then it
nights
turns into like a football.
Yeah, some nights it's casual and I'm dancing and just sweaty, and other nights it's like I leave and like there's bruises on my legs from like holding up the table. It's like an hour of pressure on my back. People don't realize that, you know, it's like literally just holding this weight up for an hour.
You should not lean on him.
And I don't know about other people, and I'm sure people can relate. It's just like when you're in front of a crowd, it's like just the adrenaline, you get these superhuman abilities.
Sure.
So it's like I would probably just typically just collapse and fold based on the weight, but like with people watching me, I just like don't notice it.
Let's not bend.
Yeah, the show ends and it's just, you know, then the second it ends and I like am in pain and like, you know, like climb into bed crying.
Speaking of crazy crowds, Lollapalooza, it was at the beginning of the toilet paper, the TP. Was that the beginning of the TP?
Yeah, that was the first show we did that.
Okay.
Because that was like the first major festival I did over the summer, and I did that and then All Points Fest the following weekend.
Right.
We tried out there just
as
because,
well.
Yeah, because the festivals, I've always felt good about the sets there. I really enjoyed playing them. It's just kind of like, you know, we have these resources at big stages to try to up the production a little bit. So yeah, I had some friends kind of come up with ideas for toilet paper guns and various ways to do things, and yeah, it went over well enough that we were like, we should do that every single night on tour.
And you broke out a raft.
Yeah, that was the initial idea for the raft was, and this was kind of like, I don't know, my friends and I are on like a Google discussion group, like 20 people,
right.
And it's just a giant brainstorm session, and 99% of it goes nowhere. It's just like, but just really like ridiculous ideas. But yeah, someone bought the raft, like one of the guys associated with my booking agency, and we're kind of like, oh, we got it, let's just use it, and it just turned into a simple idea, and it was worked out great. And I've, you know, I always try to get in the crowd, get people on the stage.
Sure.
This festivals, it's hard, so it was like a really good way to just be like, all right, I'm hanging out with everyone right now.
Totally. No, I thought it was cool, and then you end up falling off of it, and then that kid who jumps in, I'm sure that must have been like his day, like, oh my god,
that kid,
all the YouTube, he's just like cheering. He's reached the pinnacle of his life.
Major props to that kid. I mean, I couldn't believe it because I had a hard time. Yeah, and like I had an insane time trying to get in it, and I couldn't believe that he was able to like crowd surf his way onto it. And I actually saw a photograph after the set, and I'm crowd surfing, and there's a human being on a tube behind me, and it looks completely photoshopped. You know what I mean? It looks like he's like white water rafting, and just like cut and pasted right in there. Yeah, it was really ridiculous.
Right on. Word on the street, so you're a big fan of Son of the Mask. Changing subjects, second gear here.
Yeah, I mean, I went
opening. Why
Son
of the Mask?
I mean, I wasn't set on it beforehand. I knew I wanted to see it, and it actually became kind of a rumor amongst people I know. I didn't think it was true. Like, everyone was talking about there was going to be a sequel called Son of a Mask.
Right.
So I think posters were out like 5 years before it dropped, and no one could believe that there was going to be a sequel to The Mask without Jim Carrey in it and based on a baby. So I was excited for like 5 years before it even hit theaters, and the day came out, I just could not believe it.
Did it live up to it?
Yeah, I went opening day, and it is a kid's movie, you know, primarily. And when it ended, it was like dead silence, and there's this little girl, maybe 10 years old, in front of me, and she looked her mom in the eye like she just saw the devil, and was just like, that was weird, and she just like walked straight for the exit. And like that moment like summarized the movie. Like has, I mean, a loose plot, but not really. It's literally like an hour and a half of CGI insanity.
Yeah.
And it just goes. It's like the most like psychedelic movie I've ever seen in my entire life, and it's crazy. And I own a bootleg DVD copy and a legitimate DVD copy, and it's something I like to revisit as much as possible.
And you don't nearly love the original one?
I mean, I do love.
Jim Carrey fan?
No. I am. I'm down with the original Mask. It's just, you know, it's on a different level.
The thought of the sequel.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a different world. You know?
Now, you know, organized chaos.
It's I actually have a crew on the Star. I usually travel alone, but I actually have a tour manager for the first time, and friends helping out again with like the toilet paper and all of that. So this has been so far like the coolest tour I've been on based on that, and all the other bands I'm friends with. I'm kind of used to showing up at these venues and going backstage and hanging up on myself and calling up everyone I know, and they're just like, "Oh, Greg, you must have a show tonight." So you know what I mean? Just like bothering my parents or just like hanging up on me on Friday night. So yeah, I'm usually like hanging out really alone before the shows, but this tour's been cool. Just always surrounded by friends, and everyone's kind of doing stuff. Everyone's involved in various projects. So I think it's been a productive tour.
There you go. Right. You mentioned real fast. I'm a fat kid, love food at heart. You said you went to Stubbs and you went to Huts.
Yeah.
Did you like it? Did we represent?
Oh, absolutely.
Cute?
Yeah. I haven't had ribs in a while, so Stubbs hit the spot, and it's Huts, right?
It's Huts.
Huts was awesome. I got the I forget what it's called, but it was a burger with chili and jalapenos on it.
Nice.
And the onion rings were phenomenal.
Perfect dancing.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good. I feel ready to just like work that off in an hour or so.
Very cool. Well, man, we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No problem, man.